Fellas, welcome back. Day
Fellas,
2, we actually did it. We're here again. Who would have thought?
2 days in a row, we actually managed to pull it off.
And we're leading
What
off with some breaking news.
breaking insider, like literally up to the minute news. A-Rod is no longer buying the Timberwolves.
It's
He's
just
out of the
breaking news
deal. There was a 30-day window that he could buy the team, and he somehow just passed it up. So, as a Timberwolves fan, I am back on the bandwagon of sell the team, relocate, get rid of this trash ass organization because I don't want them anymore. They're lazy. The culture's lazy. Management's lazy. Ownership's lazy. The players are lazy, unless they're playing Embiid. I'm done with this organization, and I think A-Rod probably took one look and was like, "Nah, dude, I'm good." Like,
Doesn't he already partially own the Bucks?
I don't know what he owns. There was something about, so obviously the this Seattle's looking for an NBA franchise, right? And apparently he was going to be the guy, but the problem was, or A-Rod was going to be the guy, but the problem is that Seattle hates A-Rod because of what he did to the Mariners,
Yeah,
like that whole sellout thing.
there was
But
that.
think about that now. That is now Kevin Garnett and A-Rod that have both passed on buying the Timberwolves, and it's not because they can't afford it. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that.
And honestly, it's not because they won't make money.
Make
Because as
money.
we learned yesterday, it's probably going to go up in value regardless of how shitty they are.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just
you can't
don't
get
want
much more
to deal
shitty.
with it. That is how big of a headache it would be.
Man, that's so like you see some bad franchises getting bought up, and like the fact that like two superstars and one guy who even basically like is the face of the Timberwolves. Like as a Timberwolves fan, Kevin Garnett is still like our idol. Like, no matter what that guy does, I'll still love him for the day I die. And not even he, and he's even well, he was even like gung ho, like I'm gonna buy him, like we're gonna revamp it up. And then after a couple of weeks, he was even like, nah, I'm good. So there's something going on in that organization. I think they're moving or selling, or it's just bad. It's a bad organization. Interesting stuff though. I wonder
Very
what's going to come out of
interesting.
this.
It's
There's got
hard
to
to
be
say.
something.
Uh, that kind of brings us as well that Devonte Adams. He
Also looking to move
yeah,
out and sell and relocate.
he said himself. This is what he said. He said that's my guy. That's the only guy I've had other than the 2017 season where he got hurt. We've established a lot together. It would change a lot. It doesn't mean I'd be gone, but I definitely have some extra thinking if my guy wasn't here. I
It's
know
like
he
a
said it doesn't mean he's
Gronk and
gone.
Brady 2.0.
He'll retire. He'll retire for a
He'll
season.
retire until he's allowed to play with A-Rod again.
Yeah, could be. Um, But then again, and then it cites, he's telling teammates that he doesn't run a return. But do we even know if that's true? Do we even know?
Who reported it? Do you know? Do you know the source on it?
Um,
It's got to be someone decent. I saw it pop up across ESPN. I don't know though. Is this going to become like a trend now? We saw Gronk leave. He wouldn't play with anyone but Brady. We're seeing a lot of rookies now get drafted to their college quarterback.
Yeah, that has.
We see it a lot now. Like I think Terry McLaurin and Dwayne Haskins kind of started it off, and it looked good. And that was the only person who actually made Dwayne Haskins look good. But I don't know. Is there like something to it? Like just a wide receiver playing with a quarterback that's just familiar?
I
It's like a trend now. Like are just wide receivers just gonna follow their quarterbacks where they go?
I don't know. I don't know if it makes any sense because it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, if it's Aaron Rodgers or Tom
Yeah,
Brady,
it's a little different.
it makes sense because it's like go with those guys. But I don't know. I feel like to me the different coaching schemes affect, I think, individual performance from quarterbacks and wide receivers almost the most. Like you can see the difference moving when quarterback, like Tannehill, perfect example. Just moving systems went from big bum, let's get Jay Cutler in here, to consistent playoff, perennial contender. Uh, so it's like I think it has so much to do with the scheme because if you just you leave and go to a new city or you have a new coach, you have a new offense, and I don't know. I think that could be more of a problem than people are expecting. I don't know if it has as much to do with just the duo.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it would have to have like more than just the guy who's throwing you the ball. Like there's maybe like a chemistry and a comfortability thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers knows where Devontae Adams wants the ball on certain routes and where he doesn't want it on other routes. But I mean, schemes and stuff, man. Like I think it just totally changes.
That's the thing with Adams and Rodgers. It's like, well, Aaron Rodgers can throw to anybody and make them look good, and Devontae Adams can catch from anybody and make them look good.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting thing that I'm excited to see how it unfolds because Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers going to somewhere else. I just want to see where and who
yeah,
gets
you'd be
them.
happy about that.
Yes, I would. Now we just need to work on that little Chicago team because Detroit got even worse, which is I didn't think was possible, but
Yeah, they got those picks though.
can't wait to see what they do with them.
Yeah, and he's coming up. When's his Devontae Adams new contract? Not next year, but maybe 2 years.
I don't know. He got a pretty significant one, right?
Whenever he gets
what
paid,
do you get afford? Yeah, whenever he gets paid, it's
he will be the highest paid receiver for sure.
Yeah, he's
because
the quickest off the line.
like Julio's already on a big contract.
I think
D Hop's already on a big contract.
Julio, D Hop, and Tyreek are all paid off.
Yeah.
And Michael Thomas is too, I think.
So
yeah, Devontae Adams will be getting paid in the next few years, very handsomely.
Yeah, that'll be nice for the guy. Good for him.
What else do we have? Oh, football news. Tim fucking Tebow.
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh, I'm sorry for anyone listening that's just had way too much information about Tim Tebow, but
we can't
have to talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, what are we doing here? Tim fucking Tebow is in the NFL again? And Zach Ertz and Delaney Walker are free agents, both tight ends, and Tim Tebow's on a fucking team now.
So
just picture this for 1 second. Tim Tebow lines up as a tight end, right?
Yeah.
It's a run play or something, a play action, something,
Sure.
One where he's not releasing, right? He sits there, ball gets snapped, and Khalil Mack comes running towards his face. There is no, like, I've seen this man play quarterback. He's a tough dude, but like he's not that tough, and he's also not that big.
No.
Khalil Mack comes running at him at full speed. This man is going to hide and cower, and if he doesn't, he's going to end up on the back of his head in like a split second. You're telling, dude, you can't go from QB to blocking. Like, it doesn't work like that. In the NFL.
I don't know what this is gonna look like. He's 6'3", and he's 33 years old. I don't know. I kind of feel bad for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's a really shitty move on Urban Meyer's part because you could have gotten out and if you really wanted to, you could have gotten out and went and gotten Zach Ertz or something. Like give him a viable option. We don't even know, like blocking is one thing. We don't even know if he can fucking catch.
So, and he hasn't played football in 9 years. He hasn't played in his last start, or I'm sorry, his last start.
What was his last snap that he played for who?
It was 2011, and I believe would that have been
At the Eagles stint or the
he did
Patriots stint?
start on the Eagles, I think. Did he have any starting time in New England? I
I
don't think
don't
so.
know. I don't think so.
So it was whenever that was. And man, what the
So
heck?
2011. So he hasn't played for 10 years.
And I'm just looking at some of the other
To be fair, he still has to make the team. To be fair, he still can get cut very easily.
so yeah, that's true.
Like let's not blow that out of the equation. Maybe they're just giving him a chance to fix the locker room or whatever, change the culture. But dude,
Yeah,
what are
he's
you trying
definitely
to
a good
do? What are
guy.
you trying to do? Have a fucking Catholic locker room or have a winning locker room? Like, what's your culture here? Like,
I don't
yeah, the
know.
dude loves Jesus, but does that equate to wins and a substantial culture change?
I
Man, I think that's just a bad move and a bad look for Urban Meyer as like his first. Just bad luck. Like everyone's already doubting you that you're this college coach and like don't know the NFL and you're going to try and just hire your buddies and do whatever. And then your first major free agency signing is Tim Tebow as your tight end.
there is absolutely no precedent for an NFL player. First of all, for someone who's played quarterback for that long, consistently started playoffs, etc., and then switch positions. There's no precedent. Like obviously, some guys come out of the draft and then go wide receiver, go whatever. Not like this though. And then for someone to come back out of retirement after this long, there is absolutely no precedent for. And so we have both of those combined into one. A quarterback who hasn't played for that long and is now switching positions.
The switching positions things kills me. Like it's one thing to go like quarterback to wide receiver because then you're kind of on the outside and it's like for those skinnier quarterbacks that are
Yeah.
just fast as shit and like whatever. It's one thing, but dude, your job for 50% of the plays is a fucking block. Like you have a quarterback who hasn't played for 10 years and now you want him to block for you and run routes and try to catch balls.
Ugh.
He's going to be a fantasy nightmare. You watch. You watch how much shit he screws up for fantasy. It's going to happen. Also, is this just like the remake of Semi Pro at this point? Is he
Yes.
Jackie Moon?
Yes.
He's going to come in, play for one play, and then just be like the backup offensive coordinator. I swear to God. He's old enough to be.
Here's a little. I've been trying to find anybody in the NFL who's retired for even that long, even
And then
close to that long.
came back.
The closest one I can find, and maybe I'm wrong, but this is the closest one I could find, was Bronco Nagurski for the Bears. It was in 1943 was when he made his return after a 5-year retirement. And it was because there wasn't enough football players because they all got drafted for World War II. And that was only 5 years, and that was in 1943.
Because they all got drafted to World War II. That was like 70 years ago. Those guys probably were only part-time NFL players. They probably had backup. They probably were half of them were plumbers on the back end.
Yes, that was the era of the Philadelphia Steagles. Because there's not enough players, and they had to take here's Pennsylvania, and then just go like that. So,
Holy shit. That's bad, dude. That's really, really bad.
Dion retired for three seasons. There's like, it's
So
like
5 years is like the
two-
longest retirement.
it- this, Mr. Tebow. This
Good
is it.
Lord.
I think it's got to be it.
10 years, dude. Where were you 10 years ago? Watching Tim Tebow play quarterback. That's where you were.
Yeah, I was hype. Yeah, I was out on the.
You know what's crazy? 10
I
years
was in
ago
the cafeteria Tebowing.
10 years ago was just like his last snap. He hasn't been relevant for like 13 years.
Yeah, let's see.
When was the Denver playoff push where he almost beat Pittsburgh?
I think that was 2011. I think that might have been the 2011 season. Now that
I feel like it was earlier than that. Because that was like his first season out of college, wasn't it? Or second season when he did that?
Yeah, so okay, here it is. So it was 2010 and 2011 he started for
The Broncos.
the Broncos. And then 2012 he started for the Jets for 12 games.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, for 2 games. But he played in 12 probably in little whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, come out here, do some maybe some.
And then
tight
he
end.
went.
Maybe
And then he
some
went
tight
to.
end.
And then he went to New England after.
Yeah, but he did
And
not
that was his
start a
last
game
stint.
in New England, and then he did not start a game in Philadelphia. So the last game he started was in 2012 for the New York Jets.
So he hasn't played an actual NFL game in 9 years.
Oh, but
And he hasn't been on a
season,
team
though,
for
he was
7 or 8.
He was 6 for 8 for the Jets.
Oh.
75% completion. That's a
Give him the starting job. That's better than most of their quarterbacks have
that's
been
an
in the past.
NFL record. 75% completion percentage. Hit
Like
30
it's almost better than Sam Darnold already.
2 first downs.
I'm just, dude, like, I can't get over like the fact that they actually did it. Like you have college. It was Urban Meyer said it was to help with a culture change and that he looks good. It was literally like what he said, and I'm just like, he better look good. You just signed him to an NFL team. I just can't believe that there's not one better tight end for a little bit of a locker room change and just can actually play football still. Like there's not one out there. There's not one college kid from some school that went undrafted that is like a good kid that loves Jesus and can catch a ball and run, who's 23 instead of 33.
Or just like a tight end.
Just a
already in the NFL.
Just sign one that's on free agency. You have like Delaney Walker, who, okay, old, but then again, you just signed Tim Tebow, so it doesn't really matter. Zach Ertz, Delaney Walker are still free agents. And you pick up Tim Tebow because he asked for a tryout.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is 3 years younger than Tim Tebow, just for the record.
That's so bad, dude. This shit that actually pisses me off. Makes me genuinely angry. Because, like, can I go ask for a tryout now to be a kicker and just be like, oh, you can be on until we cut you? Like, shit, all right, I'll do that.
Oh, absolutely. I'd get some of that swag. Get out there.
Meet the boys. Meet the boys. Kick some balls around. I'm excited. I hope he doesn't get cut just so I can watch what happens. And I just want him to play against Chicago so badly, and just meet Khalil Mack head on. I just want to see what happens. And who knows? Maybe he pancakes the shit out of Khalil Mack. Maybe we're just wrong.
He's a tough dude.
He's a tough dude. Like, he's not a small guy, but he's also just not a big enough guy.
Like, nobody is. Nobody
yeah,
is.
like everyone he's going against is going to be bigger than him.
Yeah.
And haven't played quarterback and know how it feels to be hit over and over and over again every play. It's just not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. No matter how you look at it, it's not a good idea.
I think he'll have some kind of big QB brain, and he'll be able to see everything and like.
That was like the one thinking I had is that he could call audibles as a tight end, maybe.
Right.
Or not audibles, but like see coverages and things that maybe Trevor Lawrence can't yet. So maybe that's it. And then on the back end, maybe he can help Trevor Lawrence become a Catholic. But other than that, I don't really know like I get it. Like I get the support system. I get that he's a good locker room guy, but at the end of the day, man, like you need NFL players, not Jesus
Former,
loving,
not
Jesus
former
loving
NFL
minor, just
players.
not Jesus loving minor league baseball players. It's just not the right move.
I just,
And Urban Meyer,
how does it
come on,
even
dude.
go? I'm trying to imagine how this conversation goes. Is Tim Tebow like, all right, I'm over baseball. Yo, Urban, you need a TE, bro, and just that's it. Like, when did this when did he become when was he interested in playing football again? When did he
Did he
become
move
a
to tight
tight
end?
end? When did like when did any of this happen?
Why wasn't he a tight end sooner? Ah, man, I don't know. Um,
I
what
got to watch
else?
him in an Eagles preseason game. Electric.
Electric.
He still got it.
If he scores a touchdown and does the Tebow, yeah, does the Tim Tebow. If he scores and does the Tim Tebow, I will lose it, like in happiness.
Oh yeah.
Like good for him. Like I will clip it and watch it over and over and over again just so I can see it one more time.
I don't want anything more than I want him to just be like the greatest tight end of all time. Like,
Yeah.
no part of me wants him to fail, but I just think it's very likely.
But I'm telling you, the first time in OTAs he goes against an outside linebacker, he's going to die. Like
Yeah.
he's going to break every bone in his body.
Nah, you might get wrecked.
All right. What else do we have to talk about today?
Well,
I'm done with Tim Tebow.
I think we can move away from the National Football League and slide over to the NBA. Some big news yesterday. Westbrook, Mr. Russell Westbrook, now has the all-time career triple-double record. So
that's pretty impressive. But at the same time, it's still Russell. Does anyone actually give him like that much credit for doing it?
Not currently.
Like he obviously deserves the respect and
During
credit
his
that
MVP seasons, it was a whole different story because that was like insane. Now he's kind of like, I don't know. I also think that he gets one of the worst raps in the NBA just for no reason because people don't like his style of play. But you know, he also had 28, 13, and 21 yesterday.
he's a super impressive player to watch. And I've told people this before. I watched him at the Target Center when I watched the T-Wolves play OKC like 3-4 years ago. And like watching that guy live is one of the most incredible athletic performances you've ever seen. Like that dude is faster, can jump higher, like is just one of the most incredible dudes on the floor ever. But at the same time, the ball is always in his hands. And if he misses a shot, like you don't score that possession. And he takes all the shots,
Yeah.
he does all the passing, he tries to get all the rebounds. Like he's in a hell of an impressive player, but he looks more like a street baller than an actual NBA player. Like he looks like someone you would go to like street courts and just score 50 points by himself and no one can cover him. And he's the most godsend, but like you can't do that in the NBA.
Yeah, and I will say, despite having 28, 13, and 21, he also missed the game-winning shot and then lost by 1. So that seems like a really good.
That literally last night summed up everything. Like he ties the record for the triple double, but then misses like the game winning when he should have just drove and taken a layup because it was his.
Yeah, but he shot a 3.
He shot a 3.
But that puts him. He is number 1 with 182 triple doubles in his career. Oscar Robertson, who he just passed, was at 181. Then next on the list is Magic Johnson at 138, and then 4th is Jason Kidd at 107. So I mean,
impressive, like staggering,
very, very
like
impressive.
absolutely incredible. But at the same time,
impressive if he had a ring or something.
Yeah, at the same time, does anyone really fucking care? Like he doesn't have a ring. He plays on the Wizards, who are barely relevant right now. Every single good team he's been on, no one wants to play with him. Like Hall of Famer, yeah, but he's not going to go down as like a legend or anything. Maybe in 50 years from now, when everyone's like, oh, who was this guy who dropped all this shit? And people are like, oh, yeah, I remember him. He sucked.
Here's something fun. There's 4 active players on the top 10 list. top 10 all-time triple-doubles. Still got Russ. LeBron's at 5 with 99. Harden's at 8 with 58. And then Jokic is at 9 with 56.
I feel like we're in a very good, like, 5-year stint for the NBA as far as like talent,
Yeah, for
new
sure.
guys coming up, old guys leaving. Like, we're in like a perfect, like, you've got LeBron on one side and like those guys, but then in the up and coming, you've got AD and like all the names. I think it's just a really good time for like all stars in the NBA. And maybe this is just the way it is now, like where we just have all stars all the time because players are so incredible nowadays. But
Yeah, just like the physical, just size and strength and speed of like every player on the court
everybody,
is insane. And I don't know. Now you look at guys, and I also think that the longevity has been crazy because I feel like there's so many guys that I've expected to retire like 3, 4 years ago, and they're all playing at like a crazy high level.
yeah.
And
I
then
mean, I
you just,
remember when LeBron had his one season where it kind of looked like he was going down.
yeah,
Like it was like, oh man, like it's towards the end, like it's coming down. And then he just took care of his body all season, like really worked on it and he emphasized it. And then he came back the next season and was like borderline MVP. It's like, damn, these
no
guys are
matter.
so good at taking care of themselves. And like now, granted, it's one of the only sports where load management is a thing, which
True, but it's a
shouldn't
long
be.
season.
It's a long season, but still, dude, the NHL doesn't even load manage. And those guys are skating their freaking
Yeah,
asses off and hitting each other.
they're their own breed.
Dude, hockey players are just
They're
a
their own
different
breed.
breed. Those guys are nuts. Those guys will take a puck across the face and be like, no, I'm playing right now. Like, no teeth shattered. Just, no, I'm still in.
Oh,
That's the hardest part about watching the NBA for me. Like, watching guys with like sore fingernails be like, oh, I don't think I can make it today. Meanwhile, in the NHL, a guy takes a skate through his neck and is like,
right.
put me back in, coach.
Uh,
NBA, speaking of NBA, I want to talk about this African League stuff because that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's
And if
very
anyone
cool.
hasn't heard about it, this could be like a really, really cool new thing. I don't know who necessarily would go and play over there besides like college kids and G League people, but it's a really cool thing. And I don't know if it's going to be like a G League number 2 or like the, what's it, where did Little Ball play? Was it
Yeah, it was,
Latvia?
I believe it was Latvia. Yeah.
Latvia. So maybe it's like a Latvia times 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar to that, and then I also think, I
But
mean,
they
you
got some
look
big
at,
names back in it, right?
yeah, there are. So J. Cole will be playing for the Rwanda Patriots, which is pretty sick. Like, that's the only
Is he
Patriots
can
jersey
he
I'll ever
ball?
buy. Yeah, he can ball.
Really?
He used to always do like the All-Star games and like all he can ball. He's like 6'5" or something. He's
Is he
tall.
really that
Yeah.
big? Damn.
Um.
So is that actually going to be like a real league with like real players, or is it kind of
No, yeah, it's gonna
like a
be real.
J
It's
Cole
like
league?
I believe it's just meant to be like a developmental league in Africa because there's been such an influx, like especially from like Cameroon and just like getting these guys who are like physical specimens but have just never touched a basketball,
Hmm.
Embiid type kind of
Yeah, the
prospects.
Embiid from Cameroon kind of stuff.
Hmm.
It's a really good idea because I think, I mean, as we've seen, like the Embiids and the um, Sabonis and like that shit, like there's clearly so much talent overseas that we are missing out on because
Oh
like
yeah,
people in Cameroon like Embiid that never get the fame that they deserve unless they're 7 feet tall, like 7'1".
right.
I think it's a really good like filler system, especially because we've seen so much talent from overseas, and there's a big part of playing professional because I've talked with through my major and stuff. We've talked with like the Sixers analytics guy, and like every single time I ask anyone that's into recruiting for NBA or anything like that, I'm like, what's like the one factor that seems to be the most consistent with skill level to, and everyone's just like experience, like professional experience, not college experience, like professional experience. And I think it's something to be said because that's what Doncic did.
Take a look at
That's
Lamelo. Take a look at
LaMelo.
yeah,
Like
and here's a
honestly, as a college student right now, like I'm like, damn, and a college student that knows they're gonna get drafted or knows they have a chance to be in the NBA. Like college experience is cool and stuff, but man, if you know you have like the ride there, go play overseas. Like go get professional experience because these guys who are getting like, I get it, it's not the level of the NBA. These guys are getting professional experience overseas because everyone's battling to be in the NBA over there, so everyone's playing very hard all the time. Like I think there's something to be said, and we see it in other sports too, like hockey right now. A lot of guys are going to play over in the Russian league for 4 years when they could be in college, and then they get drafted here with 4 years of experience, and they're amazing. Kapril Kaprizov is the guy from the Minnesota Wild. He's a rookie this year, even though he's 24 with 4 years of Russian professional experience, and he's easily the best rookie this year. Like he's going off. He's incredible because he's played pro.
And this actually gets a little. It gets more. So Andre Drummond is apparently also playing.
Really,
Yeah.
that's a good spot for him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't bounce across 3 teams every season.
He's definitely a good player, and I think in a league like this, he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be amazing. So the
and the fame too.
Oh,
like he's gonna be a legend, an icon over there.
I always think it would be fun. It would be definitely fun if you have a nice NBA career, then just kind of.
That'd be like a good spot, like for the Drummonds and the Vince Carters and like those kind of guys that have always been like a name but move around a lot. I guess Vince hasn't, but.
So a little just on J. Cole and his ballin'. He was. I did have some offers from D1 basketball teams after his high school basketball career, but he chose to pursue music instead.
Good choice.
He's been training with an NBA trainer, and he actually did receive a tryout from the Detroit Pistons at one point.
Wow, I didn't think he was that good.
So the first game he was going to be playing in is actually this Sunday. Like this is just happening now.
Wait, the season's like already starting?
It starts Sunday, and his album drops Friday.
So what, is he gonna like hang up the mic for a little bit then while he's?
I don't think he's playing. Wait, this is saying he's on the Nigeria River Hoopers, but I thought he was on the Rwanda. Patriots.
So is it like all of Africa?
Yeah, here's a little break. So there's 12 teams.
Okay.
They're broken up. Into looks like 3 groups maybe. But so you have the Tunisia U.S. Monastir.
Okay. That's a mouthful.
So and this was they all had to actually qualify to get in this. So they had to win. They won the 2019 Tunisian Championship, and so they're the best team in Tunisia.
Wait, so there was like a play-in for the African League? That's kind of nuts.
These are old. This is actually it's super interesting. So this team was established in 1959. Then they were they became like the top like Tunisia team in 1998. And there's a lot of stuff going on with all of this. So you have the Nigeria River Hoopers. That's
Is it like a relegation system if they had to play in for this?
It's what it sounds like. It sounds like they have.
So like if you're in the bottom 2, you get relegated into like the semis, and then the other 2 come up, kind of like a soccer style kind of stuff.
Yeah, it seems like for each country's, for whatever they call their championship, their title winner is the one getting these spots. They seem like they're each representing one country. That's what it's. So then you have the Rwanda Patriots.
Yep.
Similar thing. There was a whole qualifying tournament as well. There's 2 ways. Oh, they did the qualifying tournament.
Good lord.
And they won the final. They won the whole thing. They're new, founded in 2014. You have GNBC for Madagascar. They won the Madagascar just national championship. You have that was all Group A. This is Group B now. From Angola, Petro de Luanda.
I want to hear some of these mascots. I just want to see some of these mascots if that's a thing over there.
I like how one of them was just the Patriots.
Yeah, I know. They just ran out of names. They're like, most common American Patriots.
Yeah, but so they also got their automatic qualification by winning the Angolan basketball league title, which I did not know there were so many leagues. What else? Who else?
Hop back to that relegation thing. Can we please do that in American sports?
Yeah, I don't know.
Please.
I don't know like
Tanking would
what
no longer
sports.
be a thing. It would completely take out tanking. There would be no such thing as tanking in the NBA anymore if there was a relegation system.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how you do it because I don't know, like, what do you do? Send a team down to the fucking G League? Like, there is no backup
Yeah, that's the
division, you
problem.
know? But man, it would be so interesting. Like, tanking would no longer be a thing in the NBA. Every team would have to try as hard as they could every single day.
It's true. I just like I don't. I'm trying to think what sport it would work best in.
I don't think it would work best in any. I think it like there's sports that need it. Like
Yeah,
hockey doesn't
yeah,
need it because there is no such thing as tanking in hockey. Like those guys play as hard as they can every single time they step on the ice.
I
Baseball
guess.
maybe.
Yeah,
Baseball could maybe use it.
baseball could do it, but then the seasons are just so
So
long, and
long.
the problem, and it's like you'd have to create a whole because you can't use the minor leagues because the minor league teams are owned by the major league teams. They're
Yeah.
not gonna. It would be. I don't know. It's such a cool thing. It's so cool.
I love the fact that soccer does that because it's like
Yeah.
you actually have something to play for. Like even if you're in the bottom half, like you still have something to play for. It makes sure that no one's just going out there and half-assing it so they can get a better draft pick.
Wow. These teams have been around a long time. This next one, AS Saleh from Morocco, were founded in 1928. Did was
Good
it?
lord.
I didn't know that like
Basketball in Africa was the thing back in
yeah,
1928.
professional basketball in 1928 in Africa. So they won the Moroccan league, easy.
I'm just excited to see, and I'm probably going to tune in on Sunday and see
Yeah.
if there's betting opportunities
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm sure this is going to be
this could be a
this is going
lot
to
of
be
fun to
really
bet.
interesting,
There's
really interesting.
so then you have from
See if it
Mali.
gets a little corrupted.
You also have the AS Police. They won the Malian Championship,
That's
easy.
crazy.
From Cameroon, FAP, the Fat Boys, straight out of Cameroon. They won the Cameroonian Championships. Uh, wow.
All right.
This is it's and then there's Group C. And I guess these are the divisions essentially. Zamalek from Egypt won the Egyptian Basketball Super League Championship. What a cool name.
I would love to watch some Egyptian Super League.
Then there's from Senegal, AS Douanes. Same thing. Won the Senegalese title. And then from Algeria, the GS Pet-
Yeah, whatever.
Petroliers.
Yeah.
Petroliers. I don't know, but they beat the AS Police and the Cameroon Faps before, so
Just so you know.
they could be champions. They could be good.
All right. Let's take it to a break.
Yeah, we'll kick
Couple
it to a
minutes.
break.
Let's call it a 180-second break. We'll be back with some sports bets, a little bit more news, and some more niche sports.
And a drug-tested racehorse.
Oh, and a drug-tested racehorse? What?
That sounds interesting.
Interesting stuff. All right. See you after the break, fellas. We'll be back with bets and everything. Free play today coming up as well.
All right, and we're back.
We are back. All right. We are going to take this little break into talking about some bets. First, we're going to go over our day yesterday. If I can, whoa, YouTube is not muted. I can't get the bets to pop up, but yesterday we hit the Orioles.
Nice.
Thank you, that underdog. The Boston Red Sox were getting like 90% of money and 90% of bets yesterday. And so our only play of MLB yesterday was the Orioles. Close 1-1 game, and then get in that bullpen, that shitty Boston Red Sox bullpen. Get a couple singles, a couple doubles, and sign that one in. The rest of the night did not go that well, however. 0-2 in NHL, and I literally tweeted out too. I said, fans of hockey should be absolutely excited for tonight. It was one of the best matchup nights in hockey probably all year last night. You had like really good teams playing up and coming teams at home. Like it was just a perfect matchups. You had Vegas and Colorado playing each other last night. But we did go 0-2 because we had the over in the Flyers and Devils game that scored 3 goals in the first period, only to get 2 in the third, 1 in the second, and then 2. Okay, this is the worst part. We got 6 goals, right, Sean?
Right.
With 2 minutes left.
Of course.
It's 4-2. The Devils, completely out of playoff contention, everything, pull their goalie to try and make a 2-goal comeback. For 2 minutes, we had an empty net and couldn't slide one in for 2 minutes. It's not a bad beat. It's just a bad read, but it still makes me feel bad. And then Vegas goes up 1-0 on the Avalanche yesterday, only to get scored on and then get scored on again in the third and lose 2-1. The Grizzlies, -9, are covering basically the whole game until the third quarter happens, chokes it, then gets back to 9, and then chokes it again in the fourth. And then the Spurs literally were in the lead by 20 points the entire game, and we had them +7. We lose a unit and a half yesterday. That's okay because the day before we were up like 3.6. But today is a new day with new
A lot
bets.
of games on today.
A lot of games. A lot of NBA games.
A lot of NBA.
A lot of NBA games. Today.
Anything interesting to you?
So, right off the bat, I think the play. Do I already go with the play of the day? I started off with that. I think I do because
Wow.
I saw the line. I saw the line yesterday, and I couldn't believe it. And I expected everyone to jump all over it today, but it's looking like the money is on our side. 76ers -6 against the Pacers, guys.
It's -6.
Guys, first of all, it's a scary line because I don't understand why that's 6, and I think it's because Joel Embiid is questionable and might be out. But man, even if he doesn't play, the Pacers just played yesterday. They've got some big injuries. Who is all? Of course, my injuries just popped up. They're banged up. I think Brogdon is back tonight. But man, they're only getting 51% of public tickets and only 24% of money at -6 against the Pacers.
Yeah, so it looks like the only Sixers injuries, Matisse Thybulle's out.
Which is a little bit significant, but
Sure.
not like it's not Ben or Seth or Tobias.
And then Furkan Korkmaz is out.
Yep.
And Embiid is day-to-day with a
non-COVID illness. Yeah. So, and the thing is, like, I can see the 76ers stepping off the gas a little bit, but they still need one more win to clinch that first seed.
Yeah, they're gonna. I
can't imagine that they lose this game.
It's too early.
And that they don't blow this team out. Like they just played yesterday. And 76ers kill teams that are on back-to-backs because they're big and they're physical, and you can't keep up with them. Anyways, I think I saw it last night, and I was very excited to see that the numbers went our way today. Keep an eye on Joel Embiid. That may shift the line a little bit, but man, I still don't.
If he's in,
that lock. Even if it goes up to -8, like it's still 76ers have been killing teams by 15 plus every single day. Like it's not -6 is not hard to cover. So anyways, play of the day. Pretty sure we're gonna be locking that one in. 8. I mean, I hate the win streak, but other notable NBA plays today, or actually shit you should stay away from. Let's just put it that way. The Nets are getting way too much money at -4.5. -5. I'm not saying bet on the Bulls. We might be, but the Nets away getting 85% of the money. I don't think that's worth staying on. I think that's a trap game. It looks a lot like the Bucks last night, honestly. It's the same kind of line that they had coming into it. Trust me, stay away from the Nets today. It's not worth it. Wait till Harden comes back. Also, Harden's supposed to be coming back tomorrow. He's supposed to play against, I forget, the Spurs, I think they play tomorrow. Spurs, yeah. Harden, it sounds like Harden's coming back. So that'll be very interesting. Also, when Harden does come back, take the spread on the Nets just about every game for the first 3 games. Yeah, because Vegas isn't going to know how to set that line, and I think they're going to be wrong. They're going to undersell it because those 3 guys are finally playing together. It's going to be nuts. Also, another game that's very weird line today. Don't understand it really. The Knicks are getting plus 5.5 against the Lakers without LeBron. The Lakers are at home where they have not been great all season. Now, I did wake up this morning and the Knicks had 75% of tickets and 80% of money, which scared me a little bit. But as money keeps coming in, the public is swinging to the Lakers to the point now where the Lakers actually have more tickets than the Knicks do.
Wow.
Now, Knicks are still getting 76%, but man, I cannot bet against them. I don't know how in your right fucking mind you can bet against the Knicks right now. The other day they played the Nuggets and they had all the money, and it's when they got blown out by the Nuggets. And I wanted to bet on the Nuggets, but honestly, the Knicks have been too hot to where I just faded the entire game. I don't think you can bet against the Knicks in your right mind right now. They are too, I don't know what it is. It doesn't make any sense. It reminds me of kind of like Chicago last year, or Miami last year, where it's just a group of dudes that love playing together. And that's just the chemistry and the hard work and the defense is just what pays off. But man, plus 5.5 against the Lakers, or is it still 5.5?
7-3 in their last 10. What, 9-1 against the spread?
And without LeBron?
Yeah.
I get AD still there. I think Kuzma's healthy tonight, but Schroeder and LeBron are both out. That just seems like an odd line to me. I don't understand that one. Other than that, stay away from the Mavericks tonight. They're getting a fuckload of money in tickets. The T-Wolves are also getting a bunch of money in tickets. Maybe stay away from them, even though it is the Pistons, and the Pistons are so bad. Other than that, there's nothing that really stands out to me. Everyone's kind of getting big lines. I do like the Heat because, can we talk about this for a second about the Jaylen Brown thing yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you that were not on the show yesterday, there was a time yesterday where we were talking about the play-in tournament for the NBA and how we were kind of criticizing it. And we literally talked about, I said, as Boston is the 7th seed, I'd be fucking livid right now because you lose the Heat, you drop back a game, and now you have to do the stupid play-in. And I literally said, all it takes is for Jaylen Brown to go down in that playoff game or that play-in game. All it takes is for Jaylen Brown to go down and that team's season is over. And dude, it was 45 minutes when we got off the show that Jaylen Brown tore his wrist and is out for the season. And I was like, oh, no way. I even tweeted it too. I was like, I feel partially responsible for that one. Just a little bit. Yeah, but sorry, Celtics season's over.
Yeah, that's going to...
Jaylen Brown was having the season of his career and was helping that team a lot when... Honestly, the Celtics aren't that good this season anyways. They haven't been that impressive. And Jaylen Brown was the one thing kind of keeping them going. So the Heat only getting -1.5 tonight. I know it's in Boston. And Oladipo's out. But Oladipo also plays the same position as Jaylen Brown. So it's not going to affect them that much. Right. I don't think. I think the Heat at -1.5, at least the money line on the Heat tonight is worth a shot.
I hope we match up against them. I hope they're 8, we're 1, and I want to sweep them.
Honestly, it's looking like there's a good chance.
I want to sweep them.
Because I don't think the Celtics – I don't know, man.
I'm not over last year. I want to sweep them.
You just – without Jaylen Brown, you guys could easily sweep them. The Sixers could easily sweep the Celtics without Jaylen Brown.
I want to sweep them.
Even with Jaylen Brown, that
very sad news, though.
I'm not happy about it. That's a guy who is having a very good year and a young career. and that just sucks. I'm glad it's not like an ACL or Achilles where he's out for, like a season plus, but
Right.
that's shitty. Also, moving off of NBA, I'm gonna move into NHL tonight. There's only 2 games. I'm staying away from Canucks and Jets because even though the Jets look like a team that's really good, I need everyone to understand that the Winnipeg Jets are not a good team. They are scoring so much more than their opportunities are presenting. They score like based off their opportunities and like opportunities created and just the way they play their offense in a 5v5 situation. The Jets should pretty much be losing every game, but have somehow gotten these like tip in goals and just weird shit's been happening all season. But now we're finally in the regression part of the season. They're sloppy. They can't score goals. Their defense is getting worse. Trust me, do not take the Winnipeg Jets anymore this season. They've been riding a high wave for no reason when they shouldn't be. And I think we have now started to see the beginning of that regression. They play the Canucks tonight. Honestly, I don't think it's worth putting money on the Canucks because they're in a back-to-back situation. And I still think they're being affected from the COVID break that they had for a month. And they've only been playing for, 3 weeks now in a back-to-back situation with guys that have gotten COVID and stuff like that. That is just not a good recipe. I would fade that game entirely. However, the other game is Capitals Bruins. I think that the Capitals are probably the number one contender for the Cup right now. I know that ESPN disagrees with me, which I think is stupid.
It's probably
The
a good
top
thing.
I need everyone to understand the top 3 odds for DraftKings Stanley Cup right now is number 1, Colorado, which doesn't make any sense because they're not in the hardest division. They don't play the hardest teams. Yes, they look good, but this team's also losing to teams they shouldn't be. Everyone does, but man, to have them as a number 1 seed when they're banged up right now like that, the way they are. I mean, Nathan McKinnon almost missed it yesterday. It doesn't seem like the right spot. Number 2 is Vegas, which I get it. And number 3 is Toronto Maple Leafs. So you're taking 3 teams from 3 divisions that are clearly not the top divisions in the NHL. And then you have the Metropolitan where it's like, I think the first team in the Metropolitan is Penguins at 6 or something, or 5, which makes no sense because the Metropolitan is easily the best division in the NHL. It's not even close. You've got the Bruins, the Capitals, the Penguins, the Flyers, the Rangers, and then the people need to understand that the Sabres and the Devils are not that bad of a team. They only look that bad because they have to play the Capitals, Bruins, Penguins every single day. Let's watch this line a little bit tonight because I'm on the Capitals, but we need to see what injuries are doing. Ovechkin is supposed to play. Backstrom is supposed to play. Oshie is highly questionable. We don't know. I think we take the Capitals tonight. The Bruins are starting their backup goalie, who, by the way, has actually looked really good, but he's also playing against Backstrom and Ovechkin and possibly TJ Oshie tonight. So I think the Capitals are one of the number 1 contending teams healthy. I think the Metropolitan, because of the way that COVID's worked this season and everything, people are really sleeping on that division because they have to play each other all the time. But trust me when I say that the Metropolitan teams, they may take themselves out during the playoffs, but the Metropolitan teams are so far above everyone else in the NHL. So Capitals tonight, watch for injuries. I think it's a good play. They're at home against the Bruins. And the Bruins are on a back-to-back against the Islanders. So I like that. Let's move over to MLB today. Teams that we are not betting on MLB. We are not betting on the Indians today. Way too much money. I'm sure it's a pitching matchup. Honestly, when it comes to MLB, I just look at numbers because people for MLB seem to get really high on starting pitchers, and every single time that everyone goes on one side because of starting pitcher, they almost always lose because of the bullpen. I've seen it happen every single time this year. So we are not on the Indians today. They may win, but that is a trap game. Number 2, we are not on the Royals today. They are getting 99% of the money. That is an absolute fade. They're getting 78% of tickets on top of it. Do not take the Royals today. Don't know why they're getting that much money. They shouldn't be. Probably stay away from the Yankees game. Yankees Rays are not games that we want to be betting on. The There's no predictability ever. And then we're also staying away from the White Sox, which pain makes it's harmful to say because they go against the Twins, and I love fading my own team because the Twins are god awful, so bad. But other than that, I don't know where we're really going for MLB today. I kind of like the Angels. I think the Angels are really slept on, even though they're playing the Astros. But Astros at home have not been great. Yeah, I don't really have much for MLB today. Just teams to stay away from: Royals, stay away from that Yankees game. That is not worth betting on. Stay away from the Indians, and that's about it. I think we're gonna roll with the Texas Rangers today. I've gotten bit by the Giants a few times, but I think we're gonna go with them. And then I might fade the Dodgers again because your boy likes to fade the Dodgers, and it works quite a bit. And whenever we do, we get like a plus 200 hit. So that's about it, though. I think that's about it for the bets. Good luck today, everyone. Be careful just be careful today. There's a lot of money stacked on sides. Don't get caught in a trap game. Yeah, but I'm excited for NBA tonight. NBA is gonna be a good night for NBA. I'm very excited. I'm probably gonna drop like 3-4 plays for NBA tonight. And Sixers -6 will be one of them. I can promise you that.
And if you want to get our full card, please check out heyfellas.co, look at one of the premium packages, or check out the Twitter at heyfellasbets.
Also on Twitter, I know I post just kind of like an overall results of like today it was 2 and 3 -1.5. If you go to heyfellas.co, you can go to the results page underneath the forum and see all of our results right there. I promise I post everything. Everything's on a spreadsheet. You do have to make an account in order to see results, but it's completely free. That's just our way of not letting randos get into our website and say stupid stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, check that out. We're killing it. VIP kills it. So
that's all we got for the bets.
I think that's about it for the bets right now. But we have a story of a drug tested horse. This is honestly like big news. This is not a joke. Like, this is big news.
So this horse was on PCP. This horse was on all the marijuana strains. This horse. No, I'm just playing. But so
we're shooting up.
It's a controversial thing. It's actually quite controversial. So.
Oh, it's Kentucky Derby, dude.
Yeah, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, Medina Spirit, just underwent a test.
Which I'm sure all winners do, right?
Yes, I think all horses in it will have to undergo it. Trainer Bob Baffert. This is not the first run-in. This has been a dude. He's been training for 40 years. I believe this is maybe the 20-something. Is this
the Middle Eastern team? Or no? I didn't even watch the Kentucky Derby this year because horse racing is not bettable sports. But I know that there was a team that was super undervalued, and it was like a Middle Eastern team with tons of experience. But anyways, continue on our drug tested horse.
So the drug.
Drug.
Betamethasone.
That sounds like meth.
Yeah, but it's not. It's really just an anti-inflammatory. It's a Class C drug, meaning it's
like ibuprofen.
Yeah, essentially, probably a little stronger, like
a little
prescription grade, but
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's a Class C. It's legal for human beings. It's not a high risk of being performance enhancing, and now what was they was only tested for, so he tested positive for 21 picograms of this substance, and a picogram is 1/trillionth of a gram.
So there's literally like nothing,
and essentially every horse uses it all the time to just treat their muscles and stuff post race, but you can't have anything in your system that would come up on the day of the race, and that's the problem. The problem isn't the use of the drug. The problem isn't necessarily, it's not like performance enhancing, but it was in Horsey's system on the day of the race. 21 trillionths of a gram were in the system, and that was enough. so that was the first test. Now he will have to undergo a second test, and if that comes back positive, it will be taken. The crown will be taken away and given to the second place horse.
Has that ever like has this ever happened before in the Kentucky Derby? I would imagine. By the way, horse racing is one of the most corrupted sports. My sister is actually a horse trainer in Wichita, Kansas, and she said that literally at these big events, like these big horse racing events, and especially the Kentucky Derby, you cannot leave your horse unattended in their stall for 1 second. Like they literally have like guards overnight if the horses are staying there. They have people constantly watching horses because as soon as you take your eyes off, apparently other teams will come and try and sabotage your horse, like give it drugs in its food, like try and feed it shit, like just do the craziest stuff. Apparently it's super corrupted, like really bad. Sabotage happens all the time. It's just a like the back end of horse racing is apparently very, 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 very dirty. Very dirty. Like even the jockeys themselves are just dirty. Like there's a lot of money in horse racing. There's a stupid amount of money in horse racing. That's very interesting though. So if he gets tested positive, they just take his crown away and give it to the second.
Yep.
What do they do with like prize money and stuff? You just pay it back.
And so here's the thing. So there's actually the last time that a horse is disqualified from winning the Kentucky Derby was actually very recently. It was in 2019. But that was because Maximum Security, that was the horse, he was dangerously impeding the path of other horses.
So it was
he's playing.
What do they call that? They call it a dock or something.
Yeah. So that was actually 2019. The winner was disqualified.
But that was like shortly after.
Yeah.
Like that was minutes after the race when they realized that he was clearly like imposing.
So the last time it was due to a prohibited drug was a horse named Dancer's Image in 1968.
Wow. Look at Sean with the facts today. You've been right with it with the facts today. Pulling shit from the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yes, sir. All way back. You ever heard of a picogram before? I haven't.
I haven't.
Similar thing though. A similar non-steroid inflammatory medication just for pain.
Is this the kind of stuff like where a player eats like a poppy seed muffin and then he gets tested positive for like a heroin test kind of thing?
That's it. The thing is, they know exactly.
I mean, you know exactly what you're putting into that horse. There's no way that you're not aware of what you're putting into that horse. And also, there's no way that you're shooting that horse up with drugs right before the race when you know damn well you're going to get drug tested for it.
Okay. So they actually also reorder all of the prizes. So all the prize money will just get moved to whatever the later results will be.
I wonder if they've even been paid yet, honestly.
But yeah, it's interesting though, just because it's just another anti-inflammatory drug. It's the same as what happened in 1968. It's going on now.
So does it need to be like 1 picogram when it comes back and like this dude's?
I believe so. I think
just like anything.
Because I'm assuming that if
they've got to be like flushing that horse right now.
Yeah, if there was a limit on it, it would probably be less than 21 millionths or trillionths of a gram. Like that seems so low.
Yeah.
So, and that is the only other time a horse has been disqualified from winning due to a substance problem.
Controversy in horses.
Apparently, in
Stuff's
that
crazy.
situation, in '68 with Dancer's Image, it was actually administered this drug by a veterinarian 6 days before the Derby, and it was supposed to fully,
6 days and it still came up.
Supposed to fully leave by 72 days, but should have been like below a detectable level by then.
Damn.
So that was
they have to be doing the most unreal stuff to this horse right now, like flushing everything out of its system, like think of the kind of shit that they're pumping in this horse right now, trying to get that stuff to leave. Like they've got to be doing so much cleansing and like whatever the athletes take for weed shit, like to flush that out of their system. Like it's got to be crazy. It's probably like the most hyper 4 days of that horse's life ever.
Says the weirdest thing about it is that it is a legal substance in the Kentucky Derby. It's allowed as a therapeutic, but any race day positive is a violation.
Damn. That's, I don't know, man. It's kind of dumb.
And it's classy, approved by the FDA, like all that. I don't know. I don't know what happens here because even
I would honestly feel bad because it's clearly like a harmless mistake.
Yeah.
Like there was no intention behind it. Like they weren't trying to soup up their horse or anything like that.
I don't think it really.
Like I get the protocol, but like, come on, we got to be a little bit smarter when horses that have been training for years need an ibuprofen to make sure their knees aren't fucking swollen.
Right, and like, would something that only has that little of a substance left, would that even
with a 500-pound horse?
Yeah, would that even help their joints at all, or is that just from like weeks ago during trainings? Like, I don't know if there's even anything you can say about performance enhancing or.
No, that's bad.
But yeah, they can face disqualification, loss of purse, and
probably suspension too.
Yeah, ineligibility for the horse to enter until like a series of tests and examinations, fines. It could be rough.
Damn.
But yeah,
well,
this horse is on drugs.
Let's see. We've covered just about every sport, but not soccer.
Oh.
We even got to horse racing today. That's pretty good.
You want to talk about soccer?
I do want to talk about soccer because who just rebranding currently, right?
People are pissed.
I mean, I'm not even a fan of the Columbus Crew, but like I'd be pissed too.
People are pissed. Keep the Crew is the petition that the angry Columbus Crew fans are signing now. They are not happy. Crew. This is coming off of. Okay, let's give a look. The MLS team in Columbus, the Columbus Crew. They've been going over rebranding. In this offseason, they've seen potential moving. They were, for a while, fans were thinking they might go to Austin, Texas. Instead, they just went through with this whole rebrand to the Columbus SC.
Oof. Not even FC, not even football club, SC. Like soccer American club. Soccer club. Oof. So the Columbus, okay, my thing is like, the Crew is the Columbus Crew?
It's cool.
That's cool. Like, why would you rebrand that? Like the Crew, they probably have like an awesome fan base with some kind of like Crew slogans and everything like that. Like, it's probably why would you rebrand that?
I don't know.
Also, soccer fans do not like change. No, soccer fans hate change. Soccer fans are traditional. That's why everything in Europe has not changed. Like, that's why no soccer teams in Europe changed.
You see this over and over. I think this has been happening in the MLS for a while as they try to seem like a more legitimate league. But they want to have, like, the professional names, not, city name. It's like, do you want to have, look at us. We're old and we have tradition and we're a club. But in reality, Columbus Crew is a cool name and all the people like the Crew.
How long has the Columbus Crew been around for?
That's a good question.
I want to find out. Columbus Crew, 1994. They were one of the 10 inaugural MLS clubs.
Wow.
So they've been around the longest.
And they're the 2020 MLS title winner.
Yeah, they just won it.
They just won.
So you...
Yeah. Has any team ever changed their name coming
off a win? Do you imagine like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl and coming back as the Tampa Bay football team, the Tampa Bay FT, Tampa Bay football team,
TBFC.
Like
Well, that's actually kind of a
that's
fire name.
literally the Washington football team like, if they had won a Super Bowl for not racist names. That's absurd. I totally forgot that they won it the whole thing last year too. That like what sometimes I don't understand what management is thinking. Maybe there's something that we're missing, like this whole thing, but you win a title and then your first decision is, yeah, let's rebrand.
Yeah.
Like you finally, like you've been here since the beginning. You won your first title,
Second.
second title.
Second title. Last was
I just,
2001, I
man,
think.
like some of these teams, who just did something stupid the other day in management? I forget, but I'm gonna remember shortly. Just like these management trying to do like all this cool stuff with his teams, and I'm like, stop. Like sometimes it's a good idea. Very few times, like I get it. Your team's shitty. Like right now, Timberwolves, fucking sell them, ship them out, get them out of here. Rebrand. Timberwolves is a cool name. Like I wouldn't even be mad if they move somewhere else. They're still Timberwolves.
It is a
But
cool name.
don't take the damn Lakers out of Minneapolis where there's 12,000 lakes and move it to a fucking city and state that has no lakes.
Yeah,
By the way,
they should move the Timberwolves to LA
yeah, and move the Lakers back to us.
and then take all the Wolves out of Minnesota.
But oh man, I want to see like a screenshot of a huge Columbus Crew fan like tweeting towards the team. I just want to see the hate, like the straight hate of like dropping the Crew name.
Yeah, I think so. The idea behind it is after the win, they want to be like taken seriously on a global level, and
SC, if you have SC in on your name, you will not be taken seriously
right,
globally. I can
that's the
promise
thing.
you. I can promise you. SC does not exist anywhere else besides the US. And as soon as people see SC, they're like, that's not legitimate because it's a US soccer team. Which is fair because we don't have legitimate soccer teams. We're not good at soccer. But man, I like that's gonna be a tough one for that fan base. I think we're ready for another break because we're talking about soccer right now.
Fair.
uh, let's call this one 2 minute break. We'll be back. Enjoy the beat from our good friend Shawnee D.
Yeah.
We'll be back in 120 seconds with probably more betting.
And some NBA playoff pictures,
Some NBA playoff picture.
Just where are we at?
Yeah, where are we at right now in sports? What are we looking at for these playoff push? Who's taking our playoff pushes? Where are we at?
We'll find out.
Only a couple weeks out, fellas. Playoff time.
Playoff time.
All right.
I want you to be with me. In my dreams where you will be. I can't see you without me. I don't know you, you already knew. In my head that you blew. Our love was never true. My heart is broke, you overlook. Forget that love that you took. Walking past each other, yeah, we on the same streets. Kicking you like soccer, I don't see you wearing cleats. Know it makes you pissed when I'm spitting on these beats. Hope you make the list, I ain't giving out a seat. Sit your ass down, no, I'm not playing around. When you said
Hey, we're back, fellas.
How was that beat? How was that song? Oh, what a banger!
What a banger!
What a banger!
Wow.
Credits of Tommy D and Shawnee D right there.
Tommy.
I don't know what else to call him.
That's Yummy Pho. Yummy Pho on YouTube.
Is that Yummy Pho?
That's Yummy Pho on YouTube. He's got vlogs. He's got music videos. Check him out.
All right. Okay, so a story that I totally forgot to bring up that I wanted to earlier, football related. The backup tight end for the Chiefs, Sean Culkin, wanted his salary for 2021 to be converted to Bitcoin. And as a result, the Kansas City Chiefs cut this man.
Bye.
He wanted his salary in Bitcoin, and because I don't know if he was like, "Yo, you better pay me in Bitcoin, or I'm not gonna play." Like, I don't know what was said, but Sean Culkin wanted to get paid in Bitcoin, and as a result, got cut by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now let me just say, that makes a ton of sense. First, all right, dude, listen. You want to get paid in Bitcoin, you're getting paid, just buy Bitcoin with it. Also, like, an NFL team cannot pay a player with Bitcoin. No one can pay someone with Bitcoin. It's not legal tender. It's not, you can't. How is your contract gonna look? How's your salary gonna? Are you gonna? It says, are you even? Do you know? Was he asking? Do you know, like, was he asking for a specific amount of Bitcoin, or was he just asking for his contract's value in Bitcoin? Because even that's like.
All right, this is like the one. There's really not that much of an article on it.
Yeah.
Culkin, who recently attracted attention to his plan to be the first NFL player to convert 100% of his paycheck to cryptocurrency, was released by the Chiefs on Monday. Culkin was trying to earn a job with the Chiefs as a backup tight end behind starter Travis Kelce. So it may not be because of the Bitcoin thing. He might have just gotten cut because he sucks or is just not good enough, whatever. The Chiefs also cut Blake Bell.
Well.
And they also drafted Noah Gray out of Duke, who's a tight end. So, like, it makes sense. But, like, man, a guy comes to you and asks for his salary to be transferred to Bitcoin. I would just take a step back and be like, "Excuse me, what?"
So they cut this guy and Blake Bell and Noah Gray.
No. They cut Blake Bell, but they drafted Noah Gray, who's also a tight end. So this may have not been because of the whole cryptocurrency thing. But what a strange.
That is their projected second and third tight end, though.
Just yeah. I mean, it sounds like he had a chance at least. What a strange thing to ask for, though.
Before that, Noah Gray was slotted in as the fourth.
Was Sean Culkin supposed to be the backup?
Because now he's on the most recent depth chart I have. Blake Bell's still there, but Culkin's gone. And then this guy, Nick Kaiser.
Oh, but the Chiefs signed veteran Blake Bell in free agency. So they signed Blake Bell and they drafted Noah Gray.
I see. Sorry. Okay, so that makes sense.
But Blake Bell is old. Like, I know that name. He's pretty old. Just a weird, like, man, you're not even on the team yet. Why are you asking for your salary to be transferred in Bitcoin? Like, what a strange move.
Or just
at least make the team first. Yeah, at least make the team first.
Get the check and then worry about what you're doing with it. I don't know. It's probably not the reason why, but
I agree.
Help.
A weird headline though that I just wanted to bring up because it is interesting. Because maybe more players are gonna start doing that. Shit,
I mean, anytime,
pay me in Doge, pay me in Bitcoin. I don't know.
Anytime like a backup any position players making headlines, I feel like the team's already going to be a little bit hesitant. So if you're a guy who's on the cusp, and let's say that he would have made the team, but he was pretty close.
Like he's a bubble player, and then
Yeah.
that shit came out where he was like,
He's
"Hey, when you sign me, you better you pay me in Bitcoin."
Or I'm transferring all to Bitcoin. But it's like, if you're not a guy, you can't be saying stuff. I guess that's the lesson.
If you're not a guy, you just can't be doing that kind of
You
stuff.
can't, even if you know what, and then maybe it wouldn't have been a bad idea, and it's not. Hey, but
Whatever.
Keep your personal finances personal.
Yeah, keep that shit under wraps. All right, let's move into some playoff pictures because we're getting close. We're getting very close to playoff time. Also, before we go into playoffs, I saw the stupidest tweet yesterday. I'm not going to name names, but it was someone else who sells their picks and things like that. He said, "You cannot bet on basketball until playoffs." He said, "You cannot win at betting on basketball until playoffs." Boy, I'm up 14 units in basketball this year in 1 month. What are you talking about?
How is betting in the playoffs any easier?
That's what I said. I was like, if anything, that's probably harder. No, I think it was just an excuse that probably he's gotten railed in basketball all season, and he's like, "Oh, playoffs is the new beginning." Like, no, dude, you just suck at betting on basketball. Sorry. Basketball's not hard to bet on if you look for the right things. Anyways, basketball playoff picture.
So as far as
this shit's getting interesting.
Yeah, some changes that we've seen. So with the Suns lost to the Lakers. That was on Sunday though. They're second seed, 2 games behind Utah, with 4 left to play. So potential shift if they can play real well, and the Utah flubs. Unfortunately, Utah is just not unfortunately. Unfortunately for the Suns, Utah's been killing it.
Yeah.
And
if they don't have Donovan Mitchell in though, they will struggle.
Yeah.
Like they struggle in that little patch.
I feel like whoever, I don't know. If Utah can win 2 games, they got that seed locked. If not, I think Phoenix get in there because they're hot. I really like Phoenix, and it's just so fun. Imagine at the beginning of the season, 1 and 2 seed in the West are Utah and Phoenix.
Yeah, that is really. I like that it's.
I love it.
New. I like that it's new, and honestly, I like that the Sixers are first in the East because it's not.
Yeah, me too.
It's not the Bucks and the Nets.
Yep, it's fun.
As much as I don't like the Sixers, it's good to see them up there and not someone else. I'd much rather it be the Hawks. But
and say what you will about the process, who they tanked, but you know what? They got a homegrown team. The
Timberwolves have been trusting the process for about 30 years now, and you see that's good. So you can hate on trust the process and tanking all you want, but it works.
And you know what?
There's a lot of teams that do it and it doesn't work.
You probably have a starter on your team that we discovered because we were just taking
just taking all first.
I think I just saw a stat. I forget the number, but I think it was between maybe somewhere 11 to 14 teams in the NBA have a starter that was drafted during the Sixers process. It was a really interesting thing of uncovering some really good talent.
Yeah, you guys were producing a lot of good players, but they weren't good until they left.
Yeah, and we didn't want them if they weren't the guy.
Yeah,
and we're like, all right, see ya.
See, that's the problem with the Timberwolves is because we had the guy multiple times, and then they turned out to not. Cat was the guy, rookie of the year. Now Cat's a bitch because he got his max contract and he doesn't care anymore. Andrew Wiggins, rookie of the year, was the guy. Doesn't live up to expectation. I'd rather have a guy coming out of college that's not the guy and then progresses into whatever. I'm still not sold on Anthony Edwards, but I hate when they come out right away and are just the guy because I feel in very few cases does that carry over to keep going. You have your LeBrons and your KDs and your ADs and stuff like that. But other than that, it's really hard to come out of college, have an incredible first season and keep it going.
Just here's some notable picks from we had Lou Williams. We picked Drew Holiday.
You guys picked Drew Holiday?
Yeah. Picked Vucevic, Michael Carter Williams, who's not, but rookie of the year.
I mean, it's still, yeah.
Jeremiah Grant, Alfred Payton. Who else is young?
Oh my God,
Rashawn
that's
Holmes.
right.
Uh,
That's so many big names.
yeah, that's just like a few of
Jeremy
them from
Grant.
those years.
Damn. That dude, the process was unreal. Like, what a crazy time for the Sixers.
Really was something else. And so
What was it 8 wins one season? 9?
yeah.
8 wins. Imagine a basketball team in today's winning 8 games.
No.
Gonna be the T-Bulls.
I refuse. So back to the picture though of the playoffs. Lakers are 1 game behind the 6th seed now, might be able to avoid the play-in.
How many games do we have left? We got 2 games. Everyone's got like 2 games left.
The
4 to
Lakers
play,
have
okay.
4 to play. Portland owns the tiebreaker, so essentially they need to get up by 2, even though they're just 1 game back.
It's gonna be interesting. I wanna. What about the play-in games? And for anyone who doesn't know how the play-in games work, because I just kind of found out yesterday too, 7 and 8 play each other. The loser of that plays the winner of 9 and 10, and then the winner of that gets the 8 seed.
Right. Yeah. The winner of 7 and 8 gets the 7.
7.
Seed.
The loser has to play the
9
winner.
and 10 plays the loser of that for the 8.
Yeah. So if I'm Boston right now, I am terrified.
So yeah, here's what
Because
we're.
Boston could very well not make the playoffs now that Jaylen Brown's hurt. They got 4 games to go. They're gonna have to play in most likely without Jaylen Brown.
So if the Jazz win 3 games, first seed clinched. If the Suns win 2, they have a top 2 seed clinched, and then they can get up to 1 if the Jazz flub. The Clippers and Nuggets are in a tight little battle for 3 and 4. Mavericks, they can clinch a playoff spot with 2 more wins. I think how many to play.
By the way, the Mavericks are not impressing me at all.
Yeah, and
They seemed really good for a while.
They're 10 and 2 over the last 12. They're hot right now, but yeah, I don't see them doing too well in the playoffs, especially depending on the matchup.
Yeah, they're winning games, but it's not. I don't know what else to say by the fact other than like it's not impressive what they're doing.
So it seems like the West is pretty much set for the top 10. Not necessarily the order for the play-ins, but it seems like the Pelicans and the Kings are just too far out from the Spurs unless the Spurs just lose out. I mean,
Pelicans still have a shot, right?
Yeah. The Spurs can absolutely clinch it if they win 3. And they also have the hardest schedule remaining.
Oof.
But, I mean, what's that? Over the next 4 or 5 games? Whatever.
Yeah.
The Pelicans are 2 losses back, and the Kings are 3 losses back.
I think the Kings are. I don't think the Kings have a shot.
And the Spurs have the tiebreaker on both of them. So they would essentially have to lose out or 1 and 4, something like that.
Interesting. Yeah, this plan thing is going to be very, very. I still don't understand why it's existing, but I guess it's just like we said yesterday, just for more playoff basketball. Sell some playoff basketball, I guess.
So the Sixers in the East right now, 3-loss lead over the Nets, and they have the tiebreaker. 4 games to play, 2 of them.
And they just need to win 1, right, for clinch the top seed.
They need to win 2 to completely clinch it, but 1 essentially does it.
Yeah.
Unless something crazy happens, and 2 of their games are against the Magic, out of the last one. So
they're fine. So it's pretty much guaranteed that Sixers will have first seed and play Boston. I don't think the Boston is going to win their first playing game. Honestly, they might, but if they get to that second one, I don't think they win.
Yeah, it's
because what is it? It's Wizards and Pacers at 9 and 10.
Yeah, right now the Celtics have 7, Hornets have 8, the Wizards have 9, and the Pacers have 10.
Yeah.
And then the Bulls are technically in contention at the 11, but they're 3 behind.
Oh man, that's too bad too because they're playing really well right now.
Yeah, that's a team I was excited for.
Those late season trades really, really helped them a lot.
Yeah.
It's too bad because Levine got hurt right when they did that, and if he wasn't, I think they'd be in a playoffs like playing spot right now. I think pretty easily too. Well, so NHL playoffs. NHL playoffs are pretty much set.
Oh, yeah?
I think the Stars still have a chance to get in against the Predators. If the Predators drop a couple, the Metropolitan or East Metropolitan is like completely wrapped up. The West go wild, not in the last seed this year. Finally,
Let's get it.
Yeah, the Blues have too many games in hand on the Coyotes. That's wrapped up. And then the North Division, the worst division, by the way, is also wrapped up. But I want to talk about just for a second the playoff. Like, again, going back to this power ranking stuff that I've seen all over the board, and just like, guys, we need to understand that the East Division is so much better than everyone. We need to understand that the Rangers, who's not even in a playoff spot right now in the East, would probably be damn near the top of the North Division against in the Canadian division. Like
their four going are the Penguins, Capitals, Bruins, and Islanders, and just listening to those four teams,
all of those teams are a contender this year.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, and you notice how like none of them have an overwhelming amount of points. Like the Penguins only have 77, Capitals 75, 73, and 71. But you notice how they're that close.
Yeah.
Like that's because they're all very good teams that have to play each other all season. And this is going to be really interesting for the playoffs this year because I think we're really going to see an imbalance of divisions this year. Like because of the way COVID has kind of done this, where you basically only play your own division the whole season.
Right.
So one, there's going to be a travel thing. Like that's going to screw up some teams that now have to finally travel further away from home. And two, like you're just going to see an unbalance. Like the North Division is going to get fucking slaughtered in the playoffs. The North Division is not good. The Toronto Maple Leafs is not that good of a team. They don't know how to play defense. Their offense is very inconsistent. Austin Matthews is a god at hockey. Like granted, he's amazing. But like none of those teams, the Oilers actually seem like the best team in that division just because they're the most put together. But none of those teams, I just talked about the Jets. They're one of the worst teams on paper this year, but somehow are just scoring games that they shouldn't be scoring. Yet this team's in the playoffs in such a bad division. Like, man, North is going to get killed. The West will be fine because it's Avalanche, Golden Knights, Wild Blues. All those teams can hold against their own. But I'm telling you, anyone who goes against Penguins, Capitals, Bruins, Islanders are probably getting beat because those teams have been playing the best teams all season. The West maybe has a slight chance because it's Golden Knights and Avalanche who are two of the top teams. But man, you're gonna get killed by the East Division this year. They've been playing the best teams all season long and are now going to go play down for the playoffs. And there's really no one else that's going to challenge them. I mean, the Avalanche, the Knights, the Lightning look fucking terrible right now. The Panthers are looking good, but only at home. And the Hurricanes are way too inconsistent to be a top-notch contender. I don't know. I just don't see it. I think the East, Penguins, Capitals, Bruins, or Islanders, any four of those teams are my four favorites to win the Stanley Cup this year. And I think it's that simple. Maybe you throw in the Avalanche and Knights as contenders, or the Wild even. But I don't see anyone else taking it from the East Division. They're just too good. They're too good. And anyone who tells you that the Toronto Maple Leafs has a shot at winning the Stanley Cup, don't listen to them. That team is not that good. They're only that good because they play the worst teams in the NHL. I got heated there for a couple seconds. I've seen some bullshit on Twitter and ESPN. Just people that don't know what they're talking about things that they think they know they're talking about. It bothers me.
Yeah.
It bothers me, man. Oh, wait. Bleacher Report. NHL playoff picture. Posted 19 minutes ago. Yada, yada, yada. East Division. North Division. Yeah, no, this is not informational at all. What else do we have for today? We got about 20 minutes left to the show. What else do we have? What else sports news? futures. Went through some futures yesterday.
Yeah.
I like our futures.
Futures are always fun.
If you missed yesterday, you should really look at the NFL Super Bowl futures because
you could play those well.
you can play those really. You basically get 5 shots because the number 1 favorite is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at plus 525, and the number 2. This is DraftKings odds, by the way. Plus 525, and number 2 is Kansas City Chiefs at what, plus 625, Sean? Something like that.
Yeah, it was like mid sixes.
And then everyone else is like plus 1400, plus 1500. So I would be putting $100 on, or whatever your unit, whatever it is. I'd be putting $100 on Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win. Now, granted, futures are stupid and it's kind of a waste of money, but if you're looking for profit on a future, I'd be putting $100 on Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Kansas City Chiefs. So at the very least, like, you got the plus 525. And then you have 3 shots basically to take on other teams. $100 on other teams and hope that they pull it off, because realistically, Tampa Bay is bringing back all 22 starters and probably adding some depth. Like, they have a new backup quarterback. Like, it's the same damn team. And Kansas City has basically brought back the same team with better offensive linemen.
Yep.
Like, I'd be taking a shot on both of those. And then your next 3, I'd be taking, personally, Colts. They just signed that new left tackle who's coming off injury, but he's he's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Who is now protecting Carson Wentz's blind side. I really like that addition. Yeah, I don't want to see him get hurt anymore. I'd be taking a shot on the Colts. I'd be taking a shot on, what did I say yesterday? San Fran. And I'd be taking a shot on, not the Packers, because we have no idea what's going to happen with them. I have no idea what's going to happen with the Packers. But man, you can take shots all across the board. That just seems kind of ridiculous that they toss those 2 up at such high odds and then give you shots for plus 1500s across the board. I think the Colts, you have to put a little bit of money on the Colts.
I like the Colts as well.
They only got better, and now they have a guy that can throw. Well, used to be able to throw, but
I have my Carson Wentz MVP locked in. I've had that for a while.
Which one was it? What's the odds on that again?
That was. It's gone up since, but
it was like plus 3,000, right?
I think it was 2,400. I think it might be closer to 3,000 now.
But the weirdest part was Carson Wentz was there, and he was tied with like Jalen Hurts and
it was
Derrick Henry.
He was a little bit above them, and then right behind him was like Christian McCaffrey, Jalen Hurts, and Derrick Henry, which is so weird.
It's so weird. Derrick Henry's gonna be an animal this year. Oh,
yeah,
he's gonna be scary. We have a middle linebacker playing running back, and now he knows how to catch.
Speaking of a scary athlete, this happened yesterday, but did you hear DK Metcalf running the 100 meter?
Almost qualified.
Trying to qualify for the Olympics. I just gotta say, that shows you the Olympian speed, you know? Because, like, everyone's talking about the time. Like, 10.36 is crazy. 10.36 is super quick.
He also did it as a bulked-up wide receiver.
Yeah, no,
he's
the man's huge.
He's 40 pounds overweight for a track star right now.
Yeah,
and he's still running that. He's almost qualifying as a freaking, like, built as a football player. He'd be literally 30 pounds less if he was a track star, and he'd be running in the 9s.
He would not be running in the 9s.
999. I bet he could hit it.
I disagree.
If he's 30 pounds lighter,
he would be the fastest person in America.
With a tailwind, I think he could do it.
Maybe. I don't know. The winner of that was a 10-1. The winner of that Olympic qualifier. He came in 15th out of 17.
Yeah.
Man, I think the track's one of the sports that always doesn't get any shine until the Olympics.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
Like, I mean, you see DK as like the fastest dude on the field at his size. Like, we all saw the play last year. We all saw it. And to think
which is, by the way, is just absurd that he
that
caught.
If you line up him with 16 other dudes and 14 of them are faster than him is just crazy to think about how quick these guys are.
Yeah, no, it's absurd.
Because he's cruising at a solid, he was like going like 22 miles an hour on the last one. Like, in that play. That's what they clocked him at. It's
Yeah.
insane.
And I think as a track runner, like I think those guys run well on the track. If you put like those 17 guys and you tell them all to chase a ball, I think DK Metcalf does a lot better than running straight way down the track. You know what I mean?
I would definitely hope.
Like I think that's
DK
like
Metcalf would be a better receiver than.
I mean like chasing down something.
Yeah.
Or like running away from something. Like I think there's a little bit of that like mentality. I think he might run a little bit faster than just like straight down the track.
Meters or so, right off the block, he was ahead. I mean, that's the difference. He
has so much power.
Yeah, that first step speed, because the thing is with the 100-meter dash, essentially, you hit your peak speed about 50 to 60 meters in, and then you just kind of hold it. It's the shortest race, but there's still a huge.
I mean, yeah, you still gotta, yeah. I mean, running full speed for 11 seconds is not easy. When you're like full on power, like,
right,
it's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, if you tried running full speed for 11 seconds, you wouldn't get.
You'd drop off by the 11th second. No, I just honestly, I think it's incredible that like, say what you want about track stars, and they are incredible human beings. Like they run absurdly fast. The fact of the matter is that man is oversized for a track star, like very oversized. He's probably 30 pounds heavier than what he should be as a track star. And like, you're still even if he took 15th out of 17, you're still in the conversation for an Olympic qualifier.
I'm just
saying, that's
saying,
fucking incredible.
Usain Bolt is 1 inch taller than DK Metcalf, and 16 pounds lighter. So
16. Okay, that's not as much as I thought.
And fun fact,
Usain Bolt is also like just a human specimen, mutant. Like, doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't make any sense. I'll tell you a fun thing about Usain Bolt. When you get to the Olympic level for the 100-meter dash, you know how many steps you have to take. And Usain Bolt took one less step than every other Olympian, basically, period, ever. Like, the stride and the strength that he had.
So
insane.
That's so ridiculous. I still can't, like, this man literally taunted in a race and won by like 3 lengths and broke a record. like it's just, there's just people out there that just don't make sense. Like Michael Phelps too. 9.58.
9.58.
Dude, I ran track in high school, the 100-meter, and I don't even know if I even touched 11 or 12. I don't even remember what my times were, but that just seems ungodly.
Yeah, I mean,
like there's just people out there that don't make sense anymore. Just don't make sense.
Here's the 3 fastest 100-meter dashes all time are Usain Bolt, a 9.58, Usain Bolt, a 9.69, Usain Bolt, a 9.72, and then Asafa
So no one's
Powell
even come close.
with a 9.74 is the next one. And then Justin Gatlin, just United States, 9.77, 9.77 a few times. But here's something interesting. That out of, let's see, what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 of the top 7 100-meter dashes of all time are run by a Jamaican.
Really?
Usain Bolt and Asafa Powell. That was a little early. That was in like the early 2000s. So just interesting stuff.
Also, I forgot to mention on our futures. If I am taking an NHL team to win right now, I'm taking Penguins or Capitals. Just that little in there. I think they're both at like plus 800 or plus more. Penguins or Capitals. Just pick a team from the East. That's all I have to say.
The hockey futures right now. Avalanche are the favorite at plus 450. Golden Knights are actually second at plus 550. Then the Hurricanes at plus 750, Lightning at 750, Maple Leafs at 750, Bruins at 1,200, Penguins at 1,200. Seems like there's a lot of value here.
Just put $100 on all 4 of the East teams that qualify, and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, they're all. And the Islanders are 1,600, Caps, Penguins, and Bruins are all 1,200.
It seems ridiculous to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong and reading this completely wrong, but as far as everything this season has showed us, It's just not how it's going to go.
Interesting stuff.
It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day for bets. I'm very excited about the NBA tonight. Remember, for those that weren't here, play of the day will be Sixers -6.
Somehow. Weird
Man,
line.
A weird line. And honestly, I wouldn't be betting it if I saw money like all stacked on Sixers because I'd be like, this is a trap game. This is a trap line. But man, Sixers -6. I don't know how you can do much better.
Got to take that.
All right. We got 11 minutes left.
What
Last discussions. Chat, what do you want to talk about? We got 10 minutes. If you're there, chat. I think we've pretty much covered everything today. I'm trying to think of any stupid news stories I heard. The Tim Tebow one was the most stupid.
That's insane.
That's the most stupid. I'm excited to see where Devontae Adams goes. I'm still excited to see where Aaron Rodgers goes. If he goes. I think Denver is the best fit for him. I think Miami's easily number 2, especially because it's just Miami. And like, let's do the Tampa Tom thing. Just Aaron Rodgers in Miami. I think he'd fit a lot more. I think he'd fit better in Denver because he can smoke a lot of weed, which we all know he does now. He's a big water pipe guy.
So, did you hear the news? People are a little bit upset about ESPN potentially. On Monday, they let Kenny Mayne, who longtime SportsCenter host.
Like Kenny?
Yeah, they let
like
him go.
Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny.
For what?
In his tweet, he said, "Salary cap casualty."
Like NBA Kenny?
No, not Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, okay. I was like, Kenny. Okay, hang on.
No, Kenny Mayne. He's the SportsCenter host.
Kenny. I feel like I'm just missing his. Kenny Mayne SportsCenter. Why can I not think of his face? Yeah, that. Okay, yeah, Kenny Mayne. Gotcha. Wow.
So they let him
go. What he tweeted? He tweeted
salary cap casualty.
Salary cap casualty.
But then they right after signed a huge extension for Chris Berman.
Oh, that's mean.
Guy.
That's mean.
Yeah. I mean, no one's sad that they kept Berman, but
no, I mean that's the right decision. If you're like, I'd much rather Chris Berman than Kenny Mayne, but still.
But I guess that's the casualty. That was the cap space.
That was the cap space. Yeah, they should have taken in like signing bonus or something. Can't just let the guy go. Should have given him the signing bonus.
I love how this gets talked about like a sports team. I love it. We're working on an extension. Like,
also fuck ESPN. I hate that ESPN controls the sports market. They're so dumb. Like all they do is take like ex athletes and they're like, here's your show.
See, do you think I don't know. I find it so interesting. So like, what came out yesterday with the Aaron Rodgers drama and like how Shefty kind of was not, maybe the sources weren't actually quite there.
Yeah.
I've just been watching, and even after that came out, that was 4 days ago, the Schefter thing. And since then, I have the only news I've heard from anywhere else is like, oh, so maybe it's not a bit, hey, what are they talking about? Is that even a real thing? And every ESPN article is, oh, what about here for Aaron Rodgers? Oh, what about, I feel like it's almost a made-up narrative. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, because like just today and now it's like, oh, are the Raiders a player for Aaron Rodgers?
What is he up to? What is Aaron doing? He's doing something and I can't figure it out and it's pissing me off.
But it's like,
I know
okay.
he's
on this
up to
ESPN
something.
article, it says, oh, Raiders are going to Rodgers. And then Stephen A. Smith's like, oh, Rodgers to the Washington football team. And then here's ESPN, 7 NFL teams that they want that he could go to. And it's like, okay.
So they're just trying to sell stories at this point.
That makes me feel more confident that he's gonna be there.
Yeah, honestly. Is there any like odds on where Aaron Rodgers is going to go? Is there bets of some kind? Because I want to know what the odds are. Because it's got to be. There's no way
I remember
Packers
there
are
was odds for the Russell Wilson one with the next team he'd take a snap for.
Aaron Rodgers odds for teams.
Here we go. I think I found it.
The Packers minus 125 remain the favorite to retain Rodgers. But the Denver Broncos is only plus 200.
Yeah,
by the way.
Raiders plus 5.
And Raiders plus 5. Yeah. New Orleans Saints is fourth. I would think Miami would be fourth.
I mean,
but like minus 125. So it's see, that's a weird line though, because that's basically just like we don't really know. We're hoping he comes back, but like that's like minus. If that's like minus 250, I'm like, all right, he's staying at the Packers. But minus 125 is not. It doesn't make me feel comfortable that he's actually staying there.
No, I just want to see because again, I think we're forgetting that this little thing happened
on draft day.
This happened, but this was going on with Russell Wilson like 3 months ago, right? 4 months ago, if that. So hold on. Okay, I have the odds here that came out when Russell was unhappy. When Team 3 was, we're pissed.
Yeah.
Seahawks were minus 500. And that was with people in his camp specifically saying he did not want to play in Seattle. He was still minus 500 to play for the Seahawks.
Wow.
So that is pretty interesting that it's only minus 125.
That makes me... Damn, he really only had... Oh. That makes me think that he's not staying then.
That's a little... That's low. Or high odds, I guess. Good odds. Whatever.
Denver,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I still think Denver's a great fit. I think the one thing that they're missing is a quarterback. I think Denver and the Colts are honestly pretty similar. Like, not to quite the caliber that the Colts are, like one step down, but I think it's a pretty similar team.
They're just not. I don't understand.
I like that wide receiving core. I think Noah Fant is a good tight end. I think Jerry Jeudy and that's not good that I can't think of another name because I was trying to make a point here. Jerry Jeudy and who's the other one? Starts with an S. Damn it.
Who'd you say? Did you know Tim Patrick?
Oh, Tim Patrick. There's one more too. Anyways.
Did you say Cortland Sutton?
Cortland Sutton. Thank you. I was like, I knew it started with an S. But like that's a pretty like I get it. It's not a top wide receiving core, but that's a pretty nice up and coming wide receiving core.
Good.
Like Jerry Jeudy played for Alabama. Like he knows what he's doing.
He's a good. We'll see.
It's not a bad offensive. It's not a bad offensive line. It could be better, but I think they made some adjustments. It's a good defense. It's a very solid defense. I don't think they've ever had a question of their defense.
It's not that good though. I don't think it is. I think it used to be.
And the Packers defense.
I think it's pretty comparable, man. The Packers.
Really?
I don't know. They have Bradley Chubb.
Yep.
They have Von Miller.
Yep.
They have Kyler Fuller. It's okay. Their secondary is nothing special. Their line's good. Not great though. I don't know. I think he would struggle there. Like
really?
when Peyton went there, it was Demaryius Thomas, it was Aqib Talib, it was Prime Vaughn, it was like I don't know. And maybe it's just rose colored glasses looking back at them because they won, but
my only thing is like that defense is a lot better if they can get off the field.
That's true. If
they're not on the field at all time, which they are because, sorry, Drew Lock is just not your answer. He's just not. Like, if they can get off the field and put up points, I think the defense does a little bit better. I'm not saying you can say that about a lot of teams. But I think they're good enough to where, like, if they get some rest and have a guy on the other side that can actually make a drive, kill some time off the clock, I think they do better. I just think it's a better fit for him than the Packers.
I just think it's a worse
especially
team.
If like Devontae comes over, like something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Like
then
you know if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver that they're gonna acquire some things because they're gonna try and rival Tampa. Like they're gonna try and do what Tampa's doing because you got Aaron Rodgers now. Like people are gonna come and want to play for them. And you got Melvin Gordon in the backfield. He is still there, right? That wasn't a 1 year.
Yeah, he's still there. Philip Lindsay is not. He's on the Texans now, but it's Gordon back there.
Texans win a game this year.
Huh?
Texans win a game this year.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, it sounds like Deshaun will probably be there.
If he's not in
I
jail
haven't
or
heard that
traded.
he's going to jail recently, which means it might have just fizzled. I don't know.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It is
And then no one knows if it's true or not. Like everyone's just standing there and being like, which side is lying? Like,
yeah. Who knows? But dude, I don't know, man. I just think the Packers are they have a better offense and a pretty comparable defense.
yeah, I'm just excited. I think it's a good fit. I think he would do well. I think they've just been missing a quarterback for a while, and if they got a quarterback, a lot of things would change in Denver.
I will say now the Raiders are like the Broncos, but slightly worse in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't
their
know why
defense.
would go
I don't
there.
think their defense.
Their defense is bad, and they have a lot of young offensive talent, but it's young offensive talent. You don't know. There's not that consistency necessarily yet. Now the Saints makes
The Saints at 4.
Sense.
The Saints at 4 is really interesting. I don't know if they can afford him,
Yeah,
but the Saints at 4 would be, especially because they just signed Taysom Hill to that stupid fucking
But
contract.
he's not even going to be the starting quarterback.
I know, but that's still we gotta think about salary cap this year because of COVID and everything. Like you gotta keep your numbers low,
Trade
and they
Taysom, Jameis, and like 2 firsts.
The thing is too, if the Saints know that Aaron Rodgers wants to leave Green Bay, there's no way in hell they sign Taysom to that contract. They do everything in their power right
It was
then
a
and there
while ago,
to go
though.
get him.
Didn't they signed him like
That's what I'm saying. Like it was a while ago, but if they knew of that, I don't think they sign him. I think they go full gung ho on Aaron Rodgers immediately. I would think as the Saints,
You know, it
like as
wasn't
someone
that
who's looking
long
for a
ago.
QB.
I was in March. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. And what's that 4-year, 100 and
It was a 4-year 140, but with 0 years guaranteed.
so 35 a year.
Right, but it could be voided tomorrow if
Yeah.
they wanted to.
The
That's
shit that
an
pisses me
interesting
off
part.
is how people are like, no one's talking about their contract right now, but everyone's still giving the Vikings a ton of shit for their $28 million a year with Kirk because they overpaid. I'm like, this man is getting $35 million a year for the Saints, and he's not even going to start, and yet people are still bashing when he was clearly the top quarterback on the market. Like, say what you want. Clearly, I still don't agree with getting rid of Case Keenum at the time because he was balling out and exactly what fit our scheme, but it's interesting that narrative is still out there.
You know what else is interesting that I didn't know until I just pulled up the quarterback contract list here? Carson Wentz is making less than Kirk Cousins, and everyone will ride on that contract too, but he's 4 years younger than him, and he's at least a comparable skill level.
Yeah, I mean, if he has a good year, I'd put him right back in Kirk's skill level. Like, he was clearly at Kirk's skill level and beyond before.
That's what I'm saying.
But I would need to see one good season out
I've
of
been
him.
hearing.
But then
Oh my gosh! I mean,
I think it's more the fact that the Eagles are already in salary cap and have to pay him to play for another team.
well,
I think that's kind of like the one.
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, I don't agree with, oh, he's getting paid. Like, no, he's a quarterback. Like, in one of the top quarterbacks at that. Like, you can't overpay for a quarterback unless his name is Taysom Hill and he doesn't throw the ball. But, like, I think that whole controversy is just the fact that the Eagles are literally going to pay Carson Wentz to possibly win a Super Bowl. To be in contention for a Super Bowl, at least, with that team. And if...
All right, I got it. I just had to count real quick. The Saints, well, when Drew Brees was still on the roster, the Saints had 3 of the 34 highest paid quarterbacks.
Wait, say that again?
When Drew Brees was still on the team before he retired, he was let's see, he was at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 13 highest paid. Taysom Hill is at 19, and Jameis Winston is at 34.
Yet none of them could throw the ball.
That's a lot.
Actually, Jameis was probably your best arm on that team last year. Because because
Got that LASIK.
Taysom can clearly not. He got that lace, dude. That's the greatest thing ever. This man goes 40 and 40 touchdowns, 40 interceptions, and in the offseason goes, yeah, I need laser eye surgery because I can't see right. Are you kidding me? That means this man just did the whole season and just went like this all season long. Just close his eyes and air that shit out. And that's literally what happened, clearly, because he went 40 and 40. It was still your best arm on the team because Drew Brees couldn't throw past 20 yards last season on a good day. And Taysom can't. Dude. That dude just can't throw.
I don't think this is right, but I just went to the bottom of this list, and it's here's some fun names that I've never heard before. John Wolford for the Rams, he's making 1.2 mil. Chris Streveler for the Cardinals, 1.8. Logan Woodside, 1.1. And then they have Blaine Gabbert for the Buccaneers.
Blaine Gabbert. God, I missed that guy.
But it says total contract 0. Annual salary it just is 0.
Just zeros.
0. I don't know why they did my guy like that, but
because it's Blaine Gabbert.
yeah, it's Gabbert mania.
All right, fellas. I think that's about it for today. 10 to 12, Monday through Friday. Second day in a row. We'll be here, entertaining as always, answering questions as always. I think it was a good show today.
Oh yeah.
Not gonna say this show sucks yet. I mean, it kind of does suck, but it's good stuff. Fellas, if you're in VIP and watching this, the plays will be posted in the next hour or so. Results are up from yesterday. Go to the results page underneath the forum on heyfellas.co. If you do not have an account on heyfellas.co, it's completely free and you can look through the results. We'll just do that so we don't have freaking idiots coming in commenting on our shit when they're not supposed to. Twitter will be popping today. Play of the day. If you missed it, is Sixers -6. Watch for Embiid to be out. That line may change a little bit. But even if Embiid's out, they're still going to kill the Pacers on a back-to-back. That's about it. I think that's all we got for today. Let's hit him with a little outro beat from Shawnee D and
if you like any of the merchandise that we're wearing now,
yes sir, the Hey Fellas,
the Hey Fellas merch.
the visor.
This is not just cotton. This is a cotton polyester.
That is a crew neck, fellas. That is a crew neck.
Full
print on hockey jersey, crew neck.
Sleeves. Number 1, stars, stripes.
Give him the turnaround. Give him the turnaround. Let's see that name on the back. Oh, who's the name? Wait, stand up a little bit. You can't really see. Oh, wait, to your left.
My left?
Yeah, your left. Oh, there it is. Fellow 1. Yep, there it is. All right, fellas. Thank you, everyone who came in today. We appreciate all of you. I'll see you guys on Twitter. Have a good one.
Bye.